What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, it's going to be a fun one as we do a deep dive on Dalen Terry. We're going to be looking back at what he's done through his first two seasons, what he's been doing this offseason, and then projecting why he could potentially shock the NBA this upcoming year. But before we dive into that, I was looking at some of the analytics here at Chat Sports, and I was looking at our subscribers gained in the month of August. Shout out to the Bulls Report. We're actually third on this list, so that's all credit to you guys. But I want to end up number one in the month of August. So if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, lock us in. Don't miss anything around your Chicago Bulls. And plus, they got two Eastern Conference teams leading the sub-battle right now. Let's see if we can top them. Hit that subscribe button. But coming up here, we're going to be going back, looking at Dalen Terry's first two seasons. How did he shake out in very limited action for the Chicago Bulls, and then where he can grow. What are some things he can add to his bag where he can really take that next step? And then also look at his offseason as he has been working out with some NBA superstars. I'll show you guys that here in a sec. But let's look at the raw numbers, take a bird's eye view on Dalen Terry's first two seasons with Chicago. We did see some sort of an increase from his rookie to his sophomore campaign. The minutes per game almost doubled, and we saw the scoring output go from 2.2 to 3.1. Even the assist output going from 0.6 to 1.4. But, when looking at this, you're not going to really be able to get the full picture on who Dalen Terry has been throughout his NBA career. He only played 11 minutes a game this past season, but I definitely still think he's got, the athletic ability to become at least a decent rotational player for the Bulls. Let's take a look at his shot chart right here. The glaring weaknesses are obviously the three-point shooting. I'm just looking at the above the break numbers here. Like from the left wing, 1 of 17 this past season. Top of the key, 0 for 7. Right wing, 5 of 15. He did find some sort of success from the corners. In the left corner, 5 of 15. Right corner, 6 of 19. But I will give him credit at the rim in that restricted area. He was 51 of 77 getting to the basket. So obviously the raw shooting numbers, aren't really supporting him being a even league average three-point shooter, as he has been below average so far. But the one thing about Dalen Terry, and I really saw it this past season, is the effort. Like, the kid plays hard, and I will give my dad credit for this, as he's been more of a Dalen Terry believer than I have been, and he banked on, his effort every single night. So I started paying more close attention to that, and it's definitely there, and that's something I can respect, as he was a first-round pick, obviously played out of the rotation for his first couple of years, but when he did get in there, the effort was there, and obviously with a young guy, you love to see that. But my take on the first two seasons, he definitely hasn't passed the eye test so far. Like, there has been nothing out there on the basketball court besides the effort and, the glimpses of his athletic ability that makes me, optimistic about his career moving forward. But he also really hasn't been given an opportunity. Like, max minutes per game has been 11.5. You're just not going to really get that big of a chance playing that limited of action. But I do want to talk about how Dalen Terry can grow. What are some things he can add to his game, some moves he can add to his bag, where maybe we could see him at, an 18, 20 minute per game guy and be very effective out there on the basketball court for the Chicago Bulls. And I think the biggest need for him is adding a three-point shot. He is not, a Patrick Williams type of wing where he just has some great natural size. Dalen Terry is only 6'5", 6'6", super long wingspan, but just his size is going to limit him in terms of being an elite top end wing here in the league. So he's going to have to develop a 3-point shot. And he just hasn't been able to do so far in his NBA career. Catch and shoot 3-point percentage. Rookie campaign, 21.1. Took some sort of a leap by 2% this past season at 23.1 catch and shoot 3-point percentage. But, this is on very limited action. Like, in his rookie year, it was only 1.1 per game. Sophomore year is 1.5 per game. So, again, this is not the biggest sample size in the world, but I think this also leads into number 2 for me is his shot creation. Like, he has shown no ability so far to create off the dribble, and I think with the Bulls adding Josh Giddey specifically, like, he is going to create so many open looks for these 2s and 3s that play next to him. So I think he needs to develop an ability to create weak side next to Giddey and White. Like, they're going to get majority of the attention as they're the 2 best at just beating players off the dribble on this roster. They're going to be getting double teamed a lot, and they're going to need a guy like either Julian Phillips, Modest Buzelis, Patrick Williams, or Dalen Terry to be able to just create off ball in weak side actions just a little bit better than they have in years past. That's, normally pick and roll situations, which, Dalen has, shown some ability to handle the ball on those, but, he just hasn't, lived up to it so far. But also the defensive impact. Now, I think Dalen, the effort is there. The athletic ability is there, but he does have a little bit of a slimmer frame compared to most wings in the NBA. We've seen him get bullied. We've seen him get ran over a couple of times, in his NBA career. So I think adding on a lot of weight to his frame is going to be a big step in him developing defensively. But the stocks per game, a combination of steals and blocks, 0.4 in his rookie year, ended up doubling up in his sophomore campaign. I just think that's going to come with more action. But I will say 0.8 stocks per game and 11 minutes per night, not the worst in the world, but, he's got the athletic ability to be a good defender. It's just going to come down to, in my opinion, just him putting more attention to that side of the floor. And, I think he can do so. But also this ball handling, he actually is a pretty decent ball handler for his size. But again, with him only being 6'6" and not a Patrick Williams size of wing, he is going to need to be able to create more with the ball in his hands. And I think that's going to come to, developing his pick and roll game. Can he create for others? Can he just create wide open 3-point opportunities? As we know, the modern day game is, simplified. It's just beating players off the dribble, creating open shots for teammates, and just getting the defense in rotation. And, he has never been the most physical basketball player. So just in terms of him creating separation, specifically in the mid-range, I think ball handling would be a great way, for him to do so, because he's not going to be able to get those bump fades like other guys. It's just going to need to be more, separation dribbles. And, Terry's going to have to develop that part of the game. He is working out with that viral Instagram ball handler, Dribble Too Much. Yeah, that's his name. He has been working out with him, so that's good to see. But, hey, I'll get you guys involved on today's show. Do you believe in Dalen Terry? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down below in the comment section. I'm an optimistic guy. I'm going to be obviously typing my Y's down there. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now, I do want to give a massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. If you guys use the promo code CLNS when making your first deposit, we'll match it up to $100. Now, Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there with over 5 million active members. And if you guys use that promo code CLNS, we'll match your first deposit up to $100. Now, Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. And I already have a lineup for week 1 of the football season where I'm taking the more on Caleb Williams passing yards at 236.5, the more on Justin Jefferson receiving yards at 89.5. Then I think Caleb's going to be finding DJ Moore a lot week 1, so I'm going to roll with his more on 63.5 receiving yards. Whether you guys want to fade those picks or ride with those picks, I just suggest you do so at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit up to $100. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. So Dalen Terry, some of his workout clips have been going semi-viral on Twitter, and, I am a sucker for these NBA players working on their games, whether it's a local LA Fitness or just in some random high school gym. I love to see it because mainly when you're watching these workout clips, you realize how much better than even the 10th, 11th guy on an NBA bench is to some high-level D1 players. And Dalen Terry's been all over my Twitter working on his game. We're seeing that jump shot develop, and it's just stuff you love to see there. Here's a clip of him, or a photo of him working out this past week. But also Luka Evans. He is a reporter connected to USC, and he tweeted this out. He said, USC assistant Will Conroy was working out plus coaching up. Listen to this group of players: Kevin Durant, James Harden, Dalen Terry, and Chet Holmgren. Funny enough that Dalen Terry is that 4th member in that list. But it is pretty cool to see. Obviously, I think everybody is a product of their own environment in some regard. So just Dalen working out with some high-level NBA players, I just love to see that as a Bulls fan. And, I think I'd get back to this in terms of just, these young guys taking that next step for this Bulls team. It all stems back to Zach LaVine. And, obviously I am in the camp that I don't want the Bulls to attach their own future draft capital in a Zach LaVine trade, just because if we are embracing this rebuild, embracing this youth movement, those draft picks are so valuable. But with the development of guys like Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, these young athletic wings, I think getting live in-game action reps is so key to their development, and that's even more reason to trade LaVine because we saw it with guys like Kobe and Io last year. Once LaVine left that lineup, we saw their game take a whole nother level because the ball was in their hands more, their usage rate went up, their shots per game went up, and we really saw the development throughout the months of the NBA season. So the Bulls, if you're watching this, anybody in the front office, move off Zach LaVine. That will help the development a whole lot for these younger guys. But you guys let me know. Predict Dalen Terry stats for next season. Let me know what you guys think he's going to average down below in the comments section. Now I'm taking the ceiling prediction here and being a little optimistic for my man Dalen here. But I put 7.6 points per game, 3.4 boards, 1.2 assists. And I got Dalen being, pretty efficient for his standards. I got him shooting 45.3% from the field and 33.7% from downtown. Now, if you guys want more Bulls content on your Twitter timeline, hit me up right there. @PatSeeps is the Twitter handle. If you guys do so, I'll give you guys a follow back. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. See you next time. Go Bulls.